believe that the first pillar of effective pedagogy in public speaking is building confidence through authenticity. If we want to learn a language, we must be willing to make mistakes. That once these students are comfortable making mistakes, the exchange in the classroom become more dynamic. Hello everyone! It's an honor to be here today to discuss a topic that of relevance, public speaking. Whether we realize it or not, public speaking shapes our world, from classrooms to boardrooms. It's a skill that can make or break careers, ideas, and movements. Today, I want to share with you how effective teaching pedagogy can transform not how just we speak, but how we listen, connect, and inspire. This is teaching public speaking without teaching public speaking. Let me take you back to a moment in my classroom where it's a typical Monday afternoon and I am standing in front of my English-speaking class, consisting of 35 students from diverse backgrounds. These students have grown comfortable with each other, but public speaking still makes almost all of them nervous. When I announced that we will have an individual recitation, I noticed everyone exchange anxious glances. Some fidget with their pens of notebooks, while others take deep breaths. And one student started to tremble slightly, and some whispered to their neighbors, "What if I make mistakes? I don't know if I can do this." These students are our pandemic babies. During the pandemic, learners relied heavily on technology for interaction, potentially leading to reduced face-to-face communication skills. This shift may contribute to their discomfort in my class. So, to proceed with my objective in the class, since it was our first activity, here's what I did. First, I tried to build their confidence through authenticity. I believe that the first pillar of effective pedagogy in public speaking is building confidence through authenticity. We often think that public speaking is a performance, but it's really about being true to ourselves. When we teach students to speak from their heart, we empower them to connect genuinely with their audience. Going back to the scenario, I know that there is a high level of anxiety inside the room. So, I pause, observing tension. I recall similar experiences from my own experience way back and empathized with their fear. For me to foster a supportive environment, I encourage my students to freely express themselves without fear of judgment during the initial speaking activity. This introductory phase should focus on authenticity, allowing them to share their thoughts naturally without adhering to specific rules or evaluation criteria. With a calm smile, I said, "It's okay to feel nervous. We're here to support each other, and your voices matter. Take your time, breathe, and focus on sharing your story." Assuring them that our classroom is a safe space when we learn from our mistakes. These mistakes even has a name. This is what do we call developmental errors. If we want to learn a language, we must be willing to make mistakes. Not just one, but lots of mistakes. Second, a week after that activity, I conducted another individual recitation. This time, I gave emphasis on the structure of delivering a speech. I believe that structure is crucial. Just as in any other subject, public speaking requires a clear framework. I started explaining to them to know the basics, like understanding the audience, structuring a speech, and of course, practicing delivering. However, as a beginner, I told them to focus on content rather than form. They should be first concerned with the content rather than grammar. When these students learn to extract ideas, then it's time for me to go to form. Why? Let's take a look at this way. What books do you read? Best-selling writers submit their manuscript to an editor to proofread, right? Then, the book will be published. Who gets the credit? Of course, the writer of the book. His concept will be known and loved by everyone, not the editor. But both form and content are equally important components of delivering a speech. Third, embracing feedback. Feedback is a gift. I want my student to realize that feedback is a valuable gift, essential for growth. Learning can be challenging. It is a painful process, but it's crucial to recognize that our preconceived notions, such as the idea that children learn better than adults, may be misguided. These narratives can somehow hinder our progress. As we say in Bisaya, taas na ang lubi, implying limitations. However, I believe every day brings opportunities for self-improvement, unless, of course, learning English isn't a priority. I see to it, in my every encounter with my students, I create a supportive environment where students can give and receive constructive criticisms. This isn't just about pointing out flaws, but highlighting strengths and offering tangible ways to improve. Remember, feedback should be specific, actionable, and kind. Fourth, practice. There is no substitute for practice. I encourage my students to practice in different settings. They can be alone, in small groups, in front of larger audiences, and even with gadgets, of course. We have entered an educational landscape dominated by digital native students. And I believe variety of experiences will help them adopt and build resilience. In my class, I use role-playing exercises, mock debates, and impromptu speaking drills to keep things dynamic and engaging. And I believe that once these students are comfortable making mistakes, the exchange in the classroom become more dynamic. They just have to listen a bit and get comfortable with using English as their language in the class or even outside. Lastly, integrating technology. Leveraging technology is a powerful tool for enhancing speaking skills. I share with my students how I developed my own speaking skills when I was in elementary. I think it was in grades 3 or 4 if my memory serves me well. I'd read books aloud at home to avoid household chores. Although it's funny, this habit helped me become comfortable with my own voice and build confidence in my reading abilities. Even if I wasn't always sure I was reading the words correctly. That's why I encourage my students to similarly utilize technology at home. For example, when singing karaoke, They can choose English songs to enhance their performance. Not only sing palagi, right? They can watch English movies and follow English influencers to enhance their listening skills. If they are fond of watching Korean novellas, they will eventually develop their reading skills through reading subtitles. These are just the simple activities we do every day that can actually help us learn the language. In the spread of technology, especially that everyone has a smartphone, we can download applications that will help us in everything, like recording speeches for self-review to using apps that provide real-time feedback. Technology can surely enhance our learning experience. But it's important to balance tech cues with human interaction, as the core of public speaking is connection. What I usually do, and is helpful to me, that I have been sharing with everyone, is this what I call record and review process. I record a 5-minute speech of myself. Sometimes I improvise. And when you do so, don't check it right away after recording. Listen to it the next day. Review it in 3 different ways. First, you turn on the recorded video, no? Turn the volume up, put your phone down, and then you listen to your voice. Audit the auditory component of your voice, known as our vocal image. What do I like about it? What don't you like about it? So you ask yourself. Second, grab your phone, turn off the sound, press play, and just look at yourself on the screen. How's your body language? What's your expression like? Do a visual auditing in your visual image. Look at yourself. Third and last, get the video transcribed. Make sure you have leave-in, the ums and So those are known as the fillers or filler words. Bring all non-words or filler words to the forefront of your mind that's robbing your clarity every time you talk. And then, you just have to repeat the process. And so, I hope you're learning. In conclusion, there is still a lot of pedagogy in teaching public speaking. And remember this, there is no such one best approach, method, or pedagogy in teaching that can fit to all. Let's remember that public speaking isn't just about words we say. It's about the impact we make. By integrating effective pedagogy, we can unlock the potential of every individual to speak confidently and authentically. We're not just teaching public speaking. We're shaping leaders, thinkers, and change makers. And for that, thank you. May God be praised.